With WWE stars apparently letting their contracts run out and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. As The Rock made his return to WWE on SmackDown last night, many superstars reacted to this, as Triple H wrote, "Electrifying." Bayley said, "Even The Rock came to watch my lay at the SmackDown on Asuka." Dijak wrote, "It's truly wild how much of a different level The Rock is on." Caleb Braxton said, "Oh, this, just me and my co-worker hanging out. Man, what an awesome surprise tonight in Denver. The Rock never fails to show how much he loves this business, loves his fans, and respects all the superstars following in his footsteps. What a guy." And Logan Paul wrote, "I've seen this before." Staying on the topic of The Rock's WWE comeback, BWE noted this in regards to talks he's had with WWE. "Backstage, we're ecstatic with The Rock reactions. However, no agreement over anything other than another meeting to discuss story options." Talking about Becky Lynch being on NXT, as she is now the women's champion of that brand, Corey Graves said on After the Bell, "Maybe you only watch Monday Night Raw, but Becky Lynch is my favorite. I'm going to watch everything Becky does. Oh, she's going to NXT. I'm going to watch this." While you're watching, while you're waiting to see the man do her thing, you're now exposed to the rest of the NXT roster. You get to see what the NXT roster is capable of. You also now have a measuring stick. Internally, from a business perspective, the higher-ups, the officials in WWE can look and say, all right, we know what Becky can do. This woman won the main event of WrestleMania. How does Tiffany compare? No one expects Tiffany to be on that level yet, but can Tiffany hang? Is Tiffany capable of maybe a bigger opportunity, a bigger spotlight? When it comes to details on the creative plan for Cody Rhodes, it was said that BWE posted on X to reveal that Cody Rhodes is still priority at the moment in WWE. That being said, there are a lot of things moving around, but Cody Rhodes will maintain a huge focus. Ringside News already reported on Cody Rhodes' apparent WrestleMania direction and how many in the company feel things are going. This will likely result in a big creative push for Rhodes that will continue well into 2024. The Men's Royal Rumble match will go on to wrestle in the main event of WrestleMania 40. Ringside News already exclusively reported about WWE's plan for that big match at the Showcase the Immortals. Ringside News was told by a tenured member of the creative team that things can change and that's something to note, but Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes has always been the obvious direction for WrestleMania 40. It was also noted that this has been the theory since before their match at WrestleMania 39. Taking to social media, Matt Cardona posted a video calling out AEW star Santana. Here's the clip.
"I should be celebrating right now a big win over Homicide at House of Glory. Still your House of Glory champion. I'm at the beautiful Holiday Inn Express. But Mike Santana's back. Had to show up in the Indies, get a little popski, to trend on social media. Probably didn't trend though. Mike, stay in AEW. First of all, your name's Mike? That's news to me. Stay in AEW, okay? Stay on Saturday nights, Wednesday nights. Stay away from the Indies. And that goes for everybody in AEW. Stay out of my world. I am the indie god, okay? But Santana, if you want me to come to your show, I can. Well, not on Saturdays because I'm booked, but Wednesdays I can come and I'll show you who the true king of New York really is."
Santana would respond writing, "You ain't coming to my city and spewing your indie god BS. Now you gotta cash those checks that your mouth was writing. Daddy's home. Pay your respects." noting who came up with MJF's math promo, which paid homage to Scott Steiner's original promo. AEW President Tony Khan told Insider that particular one was him. Wrestling is all about collaborations, and I really enjoy having that connection and the ability to create stories. We were putting down ideas for the week's shows, and he did say that, and it was a great idea. That's how I like to put stories together. Sit down with MJF and Adam Cole, the three of us, and talk. I've shot videos with the two of them, and they have this great partnership. Speaking about Tony Khan, Eric Bischoff noted this on his 83 Weeks podcast. Tony wants to see himself so badly as the Vince McMahon of WWE, or the Paul Heyman of ECW, or even the Eric Bischoff of WCW when it was successful. Tony wants or needs that recognition so badly that whether it's because he's so immersed in other things or if he's just driven by his ego, he's not making those decisions to delegate or choices to let other people help him. Tony has people around him at this moment that have so much more experience and are probably way better at creative and understanding the wrestling audience, because Tony, I think, understands the wrestling audience that in his mind he was. He's writing for himself. He's writing for 14-year-old Tony Khan, who was showing up at ECW events and writing things that stimulated him at that point in time. Touching on the recent success of AEW, Tony Khan noted this on X. "Thank you all who made AEW Dynamite this Wednesday's #1 cable show. All three shows, Dynamite, Rampage, plus Collision, up in ratings this week. Yesterday was also most Grand Slam tickets sold in one day since on sale. Great momentum for NYC next week. Don't miss AEW Rampage tonight on TNT." Many fans responded to this and called Khan out, writing, "Hard to go any farther down on the ratings than last week. Hopefully everyone tuned in to see Collision instead of watching The Rock and John Cena on SmackDown. There's levels, Tony. That's why you're giving a buy one, get one. Stop the lies, Tony. It's bad enough you lied about Wembley. TK, you sold 21K tickets 2 years ago, and now you've only done 7K. That's an issue. 72,000 secondary company. People bought reasonably priced tickets?" Explaining why Eddie Kingston will not be making an appearance for their event, Absolute Intense Wrestling wrote that, "Unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond our control, Eddie Kingston will no longer be appearing tomorrow night. Lance Archer will now take his place and will be in non-tournament action. September 16th, AEW JT Lightning Invitational Tournament, Night 2. Revealing net incomes and revenue for WWE and UFC, Brandon Thurston of WrestleNomics wrote that through the first 6 months of 2023, WWE generated $707.9 million in revenue, $88.7 million in net income. UFC, here TKO, OpCo, generated less revenue, $611.9 million, but was about twice as profitable with $169.8 million in net income. Bringing up a big match that could be taking place down the line in WWE, BWE posted on X that Cena vs. Solo for Royal Rumble/WrestleMania is currently looked at. For a status update on Edge, who seemingly had his final match for WWE and is not re-signed with the company, Ringside News wrote that fans have been contemplating Edge's next career move in a big way. He secured his last victory on SmackDown in August against Sheamus and remains listed on WWE SmackDown roster page on WWE.com. Edge also showed up in the opening video package for SmackDown. That caused a lot of fans to wonder what is going on. Ringside News then exclusively reported WWE's likely reason for doing that. Edge refuted reports suggesting that WWE had rejected his contract demands, clarifying that he had received a contract extension offer in his inbox. According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, negotiations between Edge and WWE for a new deal are currently experiencing significant disagreements over financial terms. It was said that they are far apart on money for a deal, so it wasn't signed. We'll have to see if WWE changes their mind before it is too late, because the mindset is that Adam Copeland is going to AEW. Ringside News exclusively reported that the internal thought within WWE is that Edge is going to AEW. It was later confirmed that those in AEW have that same mindset. Jim Ross already stated that he hasn't heard anything about AEW signing Edge. He was responsible for presenting Edge and Christian with their first WWE contracts years ago for $200 a week. But it's unclear if JR would be privy to AEW contract talks. With many reports suggesting that Jade Cargill has left AEW and could be headed to WWE, the former TBS champion has broken her silence with a post showing off an outfit and a few photos. Confirming that the Dyad will be leaving or have already left WWE, Booker T said on his Hall of Fame podcast, a couple of guys who just exited from the WWE as well, the Dyad. Those guys just let their contract run out. They're going to be leaving the company. They may be showing up in AEW, you never know. They may be going back to the UK. Reed, Fowler, those guys were actually two of my favorites, and I thought they had something good going for them. Just recall the young, grizzled veterans. I liked those guys, and I hate to see them go. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.